Warning, this content may be disturbing to some audiences. Subscribe. If you dare. My ex would screenshot our text conversations and send them to her family and friends for reaction. Hey everybody, welcome to ANECDOSED. People ask Reddit. Men of Reddit, what do women do that they think is okay but is actually creepy? Number 1. Commenter. Wife bragged to friends about our sex life. We live in a small town and now it feels like everywhere I go, I'm being giggled and smiled at. It's really violating. Person B. I had a girlfriend who would do that. I told her to stop, but she said it was all good things. I had her friends asking for more details and if I could give their boyfriends tips. I asked my girlfriend if she'd like it if I discussed with my friends about how her vulva looked, felt, and tasted. She said that was different and gross. Yeah, no. Gotta love those double standards. Person C. My best friend has told me everything about her man's dick, it's so uncomfortable. I tell her to stop and she calls me a prude, but I'm not, I just respect his privacy, she doesn't. Person D. I don't understand people who do that, I mean, do they not understand the meaning of the words privacy and respect? Apparently the hell not. Just tell her flat out you don't want to hear a single damn thing about their private sex life, that's ridiculous. Life is not a damn porn film where you just put everything out there to everybody. Person E. The best way to end it is to tell your wife some hot woman at the store said she heard you were good in bed and ask where this stranger might have heard that from. Guaranteed to shut that shit down immediately. Person F. Tell her, if you don't stop telling your friends about our sex life, I'm going to tell all my male friends, in explicit detail, about it. Stuff like, oh man, my wife just gave me the best blowjob. She does this thing where she uses her boobs seriously, have you seen her tits? They're awesome, so firm and perky, and she does this little quivering yelp when I pull on her nipple get really in depth. Either she'll shut up, or she'll complain that it's harassment, in which case you remind her that it's the same thing she does regarding you. Number 2. Not exclusively a woman thing, but my ex would screenshot our text conversations and send them to her family and friends for reaction. Like mundane conversations, not even anything interesting. It felt like a very creepy violation of my privacy. Also, she was an idiot. Hope you see this, Laura. Number 3. Commenter. I was dropping my kid off at my ex's place and her new boyfriend was there. She introduced him by saying this is Dan, he works at wherever it was and makes $116,000 a year. The poor guy looked deeply uncomfortable. That wasn't actually the first time she'd told me that. She texted me about it once before saying something like I really want you to meet Dan, he gets paid $116,000 at FFing. Person B. To me it sounds like she's self-conscious and is trying to impress her ex / make him jealous. Which is something someone who hasn't gotten over their ex would do. Makes me feel bad for the current guy. Person C. None of the girls I've ever dated knew how much I make. I really don't want to bring it up because I have no reason to and don't want it to be a thing that keeps someone with me. They know I have a good and stable job and that's all that matters. If someone has to flaunt their money, chances are they don't think they have other qualities so they resort to this. Number 4. Maybe not creepy, but FFS stop pulling on my beard and arm hair. Like, that shit is seriously uncomfortable. And pulling out a beard hair stings like if it's literally attached to my face. You are in my personal space, tugging my hair, and causing me a little pain. Ladies, I don't care how fun it is, please stop or I'll make fun of your eyebrows. Number 5. I've had this happen a few times, but I don't know if it is more common or less common. When I go to a bar for a drink on say a Friday night I usually go with friends. I'll head to the bathroom and sometimes the bar will be crowded so I'll have to slip through a group of people. Several times I'll get rubbed or caressed by women. Sometimes on the groin, sometimes on the chest or shoulders. It's not wanted nor am I signaling I want to be touched, just saying excuse me and going past. It bothers me every time. Number 6. Okay, so this is something both me and my brother had happened to us. We are both pretty young, around 20, but we were at some parties where people of all ages were around recently. At one party, we had just finished performing with our orchestra, and we were still in our uniforms. Then when I was getting some beers, some random lady of over 40 said to me, would you like to change clothes? I want to look like I am in the orchestra. So naturally, I'm like, well, I'd rather not, but she was like, oh please. And she kept on trying to talk to me. At another party, some lady, also of over 40, who was really seeking attention, started to hold my brother by the waist. My brother told me he was really weirded out by her. She tried to do this multiple times, even after I lured my brother away by pretending I needed to say something to him. I don't really know if this is something a lot of middle-aged ladies do, but them acting like that really weirded me out, and they seem to do this as if it was the most normal thing in the world. Number 7. My ex told me that she and all her friends all shared deep pics of their boyfriends with each other. I was aware that they talked about them/sex whatnot, but showing pics is way over the line. Once I found that out, the well dried up. I would never show my GF's nudes to my male friends, not just cause that's wrong, but also, selfishly, I don't want them knowing what's going on. Call me a chauvinist if you want, but when I'm in a relationship with someone I consider my junk theirs and their junk mine, at least when it comes to sharing with third parties. Number 8. Went out with a group of guys last weekend. There were 6 of us and this random girl started hanging around us like a lost puppy and just wouldn't leave. She was attractive, but so obviously desperate for attention that none of our group of guys really cared to give her any. This girl was just looking at everyone, batting her eyes and trying to hug everyone, but the guys were just pawning her off on each other. Not sure if this is pathetic more than creepy, but if a guy did the same thing, he'd be labeled creepy, so yeah. She was creepy to me. I honestly thought she was a hooker or something trying to sell services or some shit, the way she was approaching dudes. It's not effing normal. Number 9. My dad married a woman when I was in middle school. She used to say this to me all the time. If I were younger I would have picked you, not your dad. It always weirded me out. But she was weird and creepy on whole other levels. Number 10. I was wearing a kilt in an indie movie and 3 different actresses tried to peek under it to see if I was authentic. I told them no, I'm doing fight scenes. If you want to see my dick just ask. And then they got mad at me. Number 11. Commenter. Unwanted physical contact. I went out to dinner with a bunch of friends, coincidentally, they were all women, and the waitress was hitting on me, which involved obvious compliments, which I don't care about, and putting her hands all over my shoulders and upper chest. We all had a laugh about it after, but I was seriously weirded out by it, and were the genders reversed I guarantee no one would have been laughing about it. Person B. As a gay guy, women seem to think that it's okay to touch me, in a general way, and sometimes even in a more inappropriate way. Lady, I don't know who you are, I don't care who you are, sure we had a nice brief conversation but don't touch me. Don't wrap your hands around my legs so you can gawk at the size of my legs, don't squeeze my pec, or think that I want a hug despite never having met you before. I am avoiding physical contact not only to be respectful of your boundaries, but because I also have boundaries I don't want you to violate. Consent works both ways, always. Don't touch me. Person C. I was watching Wendy Williams one day and she had Anderson Cooper on the show. I don't know why but she started questioning his sexuality. Then she hugged him and smashed her boobs against his face. The audience was laughing. It was super awkward and you could tell he was uncomfortable. I remember thinking that it was sexual assault. Why do straight women think it's okay to do that to a gay man? She should show respect and not touch him in any way, let alone in any sexual way. And why are you so concerned about his sexuality? Why is it so important to you that a man, any man, be sexually attracted to you? It was awful. Number 12. Friend of a friend, that I think I'd met once at a party before this, got drunk at a nightclub and kept touching me while we were talking. She would also just grab my hand and drag me around the club. Eventually I politely asked if she was hitting on me, because at this point I was getting curious. She seemed to get offended by this and was all, no, I have a boyfriend. Okay, fair enough, so why the F are you laying your hands on me so goddamn much then? Number 13. Glamorizing the male body at work or in other, non-casual situations. I've had coworkers speculating about the size of other coworkers' genitals in front of me, talking about nude scenes of favorite actors, talking about marital aids etc. If a guy was similarly casual about sex, it would be considered highly inappropriate but women seem to get away with it as innocent fun. Number 14. Asking us if we want to buy them a drink. The last time I was out a girl had asked me this and I felt disrespected. She was extremely attractive but opening up a conversation by asking if I want to buy you a drink is not appreciative. It made me feel like she thought I was a buster or something. Not all of us like to spend money on random girls just for a chance to talk to them. Number 15. Trying to isolate us from friends, especially other women, and family because they want us to focus on the relationship and prioritizing her emotional needs over everybody else in our lives. It's under the guise of wanting to develop a bond and get to know us better, but if you're paying attention, You can tell what's really going on. And also, having gone through copious amounts of domestic violence training at work, both as a requirement for employment and as part of the job since I record training, it is painfully obvious that this is something men do all the time to control women. Most of this thread consists of things which aren't limited by gender. Number 16. I dated a girl who was overly sensitive to word choice. Case in point, one Saturday morning I was out running errands. It was a beautiful day, and I texted it's going to be a great day. She called me crying, because when you say, it's going to be a great day, it puts too much pressure on me to have a great day. Now I'm crying. All I could think was what the hell. We ended up breaking up because it was a Thursday, which had become our date night, and I was going to go to her place. She started crying and broke up with me because I assumed we were going to see each other that night. Number 17. Actually know someone that met someone on an X-rated dating site. She said she was 20. They went out for about a month before the parents found out and informed him she was 15. She had done this in the past, so they were understanding, and he cut off all contact with her. Problem is, the statute of limitations is never for statutory rape, so he has this hanging over his head for the rest of his life. Number 18. Lying about age in general. To be honest, I'm in my mid-30s. Last year I met a girl that prevented her from being younger than me by a couple years, although she actually was a couple years older. She looked young, so I did not question her at all. On the second date we decided to go on a weekend trip. Separate hotel rooms in case it didn't work out because we basically didn't know each other. I booked flights for both of us. So she gave me her real birthday, so I found out. I found that creepy, but we went anyway. At the destination we went on a pub crawl where she lied to the others as well about her age. I was happy about the separate rooms. Number 19. Perhaps not creepy, but I went to a metal concert to which I had planned to go alone. My girlfriend then suggested one of her female friends to go with me. I was relatively indifferent and just said that yeah, as long as she likes the music, why not get to know the people you spend time with. Fast forward 1 week. During the concert, my girlfriend gets jealous of the friend she herself invited to go with me, calls me constantly, asks if I made out with her friend, and threatened to break up. I was hard pressed not to laugh. The plan seems to have been to send someone to keep me under a lens, which backfired on account of the next layer of her trust issues. Make sure to share your personal story in the comments below and have the opportunity to be featured in a future video. Also, if you like these topics, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button to continue seeing more content like this every day. See you next time.